audio clip on Instagram that's going around. I think it's a little risky. And he's like, hey, I like to put it on. I like to put it on. I like to shine. And I am of the same ilk. I like to put it on. I've always enjoyed to put it on. I don't know if it's because when I was a little boy, my mother, she's a seamstress, and she would dress me up in a little three-piece suits. Let's take a look at young Mike Goodwin in his three-piece suit. Yep. Been doing this for a long time. But often individuals will stop me and they'll say, man, I really like how you put your outfit together. I really like your hat, your glasses. I've even had different women. They were like, man, I wish my husband dressed like you. I wish I could send my husband shopping with you. I've had guys be like, hey, man, I wish I could get into your closet. I wish I could shop like you. So I want to create some content just around the philosophy of style that I have. I think that's the first place to start, especially for guys that are a little older. You know, typically you young guys, y'all have your own sense of style, your own sense of fashion. But I'm talking about guys that's probably in that 35-year-old phase. Because what happens is, especially for gentlemen, men typically dress for the rest of their life in the era in which they were killing it. So if you were killing it in 98, those guys are going to be walking around with Jabot jeans, colorful polo shirt, and Durango boots. And probably the boot and the belts are going to be of the same material. As we get older, we shouldn't just get bitter. We should get better. So I'm just going to give you some of my fashion tips and philosophies. That's the first thing. I think you're looking at fashion tips and philosophies. It's a mindset. One of my first thoughts is that you should think more about style than you should fashion, right? More about style than fashion. You may be like, Mike, what do you mean by that? Fashion is trends. Like, what's trendy? What's popular? And there's some fashion things that happen that I jump on board. Like, just because it's fashion doesn't mean that you should stay away from it. But what happens is you never cultivate and develop your personal sense of style. I actually hired a stylist a few years ago because I realized I was either dressing athletic wear or I was dressing to the nines. And I didn't have casual clothing. There was nothing. I might have had a pair of jeans, but I didn't have shirts like this. All I had was dress shirts with cufflinks. It was sad. I didn't have something that you could just wear to a soccer game, to a basketball game, and be stylish and be comfortable without looking like I was about to go into the game or I was the general manager of the game. You gotta have something in between. So think about your personal sense of style. What do you enjoy wearing? Like, what's your personal style? And begin to cultivate that, begin to grow that, begin to take steps in evolving your sense of style. That's the first thing I would tell you. Think more about style than fashion. The other part that's a big issue that I find myself having conversations of people when we talk about style. I don't match. I coordinate.
It is. You got to coordinate. Most people don't coordinate. See, you got to coordinate.
Yes, that's what you do.
Yeah, I don't match. I stopped matching in middle school. Matching is for kids. Now, what I will say, I do match. If I'm wearing all black, I want to make sure my blacks match. If I'm wearing all white, my whites need to match. But I don't dress like I'm going to take a picture for picture day at school. I don't dress like I'm getting ready for middle school picture day. I don't have to match. I'm not the matchy guy. Now, maybe you match. I don't match. I coordinate. I get a feel of, and sometimes it don't all the way gets me to the end zone, right? Like sometimes that's what happens. Sometimes it's a miss. It's a hit or a miss. Like sometimes I hit a lot, but I miss, and I'm good with it. I'm no problem. But like this for example, I wasn't looking like, oh, I need to match my blue. I look for contrast. This is a darker blue. This is a lighter blue. Even the pocket square, I wanted to accent. You want the colors, the pop, 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 pop. You want it to all be like a symphony, a masterpiece that you draw it all together. So I don't match, man. I stopped matching. I don't care if my shoes don't have to match my sweater, my jacket, and yeah. Now, if you, again, I'm not saying that matching is bad, but that's not the impetus of what I'm creating, right? I'm trying to coordinate. I'm trying to put fabrics with other fabrics. I put style with other style. You know, there's ways to blend a look, and that's just my philosophy. And I'll get more in depth at some point on one of these videos. But I don't match, man. I coordinate. The other thing, my philosophy, I usually don't shop. I collect pieces. When I say I don't shop, I don't like, oh man, I gotta go shopping. I collect pieces. I typically buy my blazers all at the same time because I get them, for the most part, I get them custom. And so I have blazers made. But I'm not a stickler, like everything has to be custom. No, that's not. I get clothing from Old Navy, Target, and then I get it from some of the most expensive men's places out there. So it's a variety. I look for pieces. You know, when I do go quote unquote shopping, I may say, man, I need some black pants. I might go looking for some black pants. But I'm not buying pants for the rest of the year. I buy what catches my eye. So yeah, I may go, I need some black pants, but I get there and I see these loafers that I like. I'm like, oh, yeah, I like those. I do a lot of stuff online. I see things. I use like Johnson and Murphy as a place that I take a look at. Nike, you know, I like the comfortable sneakers that you can blend with jeans and blazers. You see me when I dress on stage. If I'm not doing a corporate event, I'm doing my stand-up. It's like a playful prep. You know, I have a very nice jacket, probably a dress shirt. Then I got on some jeans and a nice pair of sneakers, right? So I don't go shopping. I collect pieces. If I see something that grabs my eye, I grab it and I try to blend it together. I try to coordinate it. I say, oh man, this would go great with that. So don't shop, man. Don't shop. Just get pieces. One of the best things in terms of style, do your best to make sure your clothes fit. That may be you need to take it to let it out a little bit or to bring it in a little bit. You have to be mindful of your waistline. You know, when I have custom jackets, so there's a certain size I want to be when I wear these jackets, and if I started be above that size, I can't wear my stuff. So I have to operate with some discipline. Got to operate with a little bit of integrity, food integrity, right? So make sure that your clothes fit. Don't just throw on ill-fitting clothes. One of the best ways to be stylish is to make sure that stuff fits to your body. I wear clothes that compliment me. It's another thing. I wear colors that complement my skin. I don't wear loud colors because loud colors kind of clashes sometimes with darker skin. I try to look for colors that accentuate my natural features. So you don't see me in a lot of yellows and a lot of pinks, a lot of fuchsia, a lot of loud colors. I need a little bit more subdued, a little more calm. Blues, I'm a big blue, love blue. green, tan, grays, navies. I'm looking to, I kind of have what colors I really enjoy wearing. Figure out what colors are those for you. Like what color do you enjoy rocking, and develop that, grow that, evolve that. Also, I'm not driven by price. Price doesn't driven, like I said it earlier. I'll have custom blazers, but you get some jeans from Target, or get some jeans from a place that Old Navy, the Gap. So looking to blend. Looking to blend, so everything doesn't have to be custom. On pants and shirts, everything doesn't have to be custom. And I want quality. I buy things that last. I buy things that are going to be around for a good portion of time. And you got to recycle. Got to get some of this stuff out of your closet. You know what you haven't worn. You haven't worn it in a while. And if you love it, if it's something that you love, but you just haven't worn it, it's time to get it out of there. I'm not a minimalist. I wish I was more minimalist, but I do have that concept of, hey man, if I have it, I need to be wearing it. And if I don't wear it, it probably needs to go. Buy high quality shoes. I think that's high quality shoes. And again, don't break the bank, but I buy leather shoes with hard bottoms. I try to stay away from the rubber heels. I try to do a more wood block, hard heel. I think that's just a better quality shoe. And again, I think quality shoe you can get for $100, $150 to somewhere between upwards of $300, somewhere in that neighborhood. But it's not necessarily, because you can get sales. There's some steals. And then also, if you learn how to kind of rehabilitate shoes, you can go find shoes at a thrift store and take them to get them resold, so get the sole replaced, get the heel replaced. Just take care of your shoes. Get your shoe trees and shoe trees, the things that help you put your foot in your shoe, the shoe tree and the shoe horns. Make sure you get shoe trees, shoe horns. Make sure you put a little shine, a little polish on your shoe to extend the longevity of the life of the shoe. And last but not least, one of the things I do is explore accessories. I explore accessories, hats, pocket square, tie clips, jewelry, watches. Try to implement different pieces. You don't do it all at one time. Just begin to cultivate. Like if you see something that you like, try to add that to your repertoire. Try to add it to your base. And in cologne, make sure you smell good. That's the other thing about being stylish. Smell good. So your clothing, definitely, but make sure you have a fragrance that you really, and it's your personal preference. There's a lot of information out there about fragrances. I'm sure I'll create kind of my top favorite fragrances and favorite fragrances that I enjoy using. But hopefully this has been helpful. These are some of the things that I include in my style philosophy. Hopefully that you'll begin to cultivate what your style philosophy is. If I think about what kind of how I describe my style, it's an urban prep. It's urban prep. It's kind of where I've landed. I love the Ivy League look. I love kind of, back in the day, I'm a member of a fraternity. So when I look at look at the history books where the brothers were in suits and bow ties, I like that classic haberdashery, right? But I also like the modern cuts. I like the modern day flair. I like sneakers. I like jeans. So hopefully this has been helpful as you are on your style journey. The words of Deion Sanders reigns true. Look good. You look good. You feel good. You feel good. You play good. You play good. They pay good. So I think that is very important. My sense of style is something I hold near and dear to me. So look forward to talking to you on another episode of this gentleman, the bow tie fashion expert. I'm not an expert. The bow tie. I like putting it on. Another episode is I like to put it on. I like to put it on, man. Peace.